Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're just joining us, my name is MAYOwaoye, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make this simple maxi dress with the keyhole upper yoke. Yes, so the white thing here, that is the keyhole upper yoke. So if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, now is the time to do so. So hit the subscribe button below your screen, tap the like button also, and turn on the notifications bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming tutorials when I post them. Let's head into today's tutorial, guys. So guys, this is my basic dress block. This is the one for the front. So you just get your basic dress block, and that will be the foundation for this dress. So this is my front pattern. Now if you look at the dress, you would see that it's a dress joined at the waist. So I'm going to cut my waist here. I'm going to cut it and separate the upper bodice and the lower skirt piece. So guys, I'm going to keep this aside, and then we'll draw in the bustier shape of the upper bodice. So for the bustier shape, you decide how low or how high you want your neckline to be. So for me, from my neckline point here, I'm going to raise my neckline by maybe 1 or 1.5 inches, and that will be the neck point. That is the highest point of my neckline. So yeah, this is the point right here. Now I'm going to connect it from here back to my armhole, but to connect it, I'm going to do something like this. Now to connect that, I'm going to do something like this, because if you look at the picture, you would see that the neckline has like a kind of curve, like a canoe neckline curve. So at the dot line here, I'm going to increase, I measured 1.5 inches from my armhole point here. I measured 1.5 inches up. So right here at my dot line here, I'm going to raise it up by maybe 1.75, or maybe raise it up by 2 inches, just so that we can have like a curve, so that the curve can go this way. So I hope you understand what I just explained. So yeah, this is it right here. So now I'm just going to connect. You can just use your French curve to draw a curved line this way. So yeah, this is it. So now I'm going to connect from here back to my armhole level here. So yeah, this is it. So now to give it more, to make this place not sharp, I'm just going to blend it this way. So I'll blend it this way. So this is the shape I'll be following. I'll come from here, and then I'll go here, and then it goes here. So this, you can just cancel this off. So I hope you got the drift of what I just explained. Now to give more the neckline of my bustier more shaping, I'm going to come right here at my dot line here, and I'm going to measure 1 inch this way and 1 inch this way. So you measure a 1 inch, that is in total 2 inches that. So just measure 1 inch out here, 1 inch out here. I hope you got the drift. So yeah, these are the marks. So now I'm just going to connect from here straight to my bust points, and then connect from here also to my bust point. So yeah, this completes the bustier part of the upper part. So this part will be labeled the center front, and this will be labeled the side front. So you cut it into panels. So when you're cutting, you cut the center front all this way, and then this part here would be folded in, so we don't need this part here. Then for the side front, you cut from here, here, out. Now for the keyhole panel we have above, I'm going to, before we cut this out, let's just draw in the keyhole panel. So for that, at the shoulder line here, I'm going to go in by 1 inch. I'm just going to chop off about 1 inch from my shoulder line. So here, this is it. So, and then I'm just going to reconnect my neckline. So if you want to make the neckline wider, you can either decide to maybe make the armhole, you can decide to make the armhole deeper or whatever. It depends on you. So if you want to make the armhole deeper, just go down more and increase the depth of the armhole. So now I'm going to reconnect this back to this point here. So yeah, done. So this part here is no longer needed. So now if you look at the picture, you'd see that the shoulder line also is not so wide. So I'm just going to measure maybe 2 inches or a 3 inches shoulder point here. So I'll just measure 3 inches or 2 inches from here. Just measure it in. I think 2 inches is more like it. So just measure 2 inches in. So yeah, this is it. So now I'm just going to reconnect the armhole. So I'm going to reconnect this back to my armhole. I'll just blend it into this. Just blend it in here. So yeah, this completes this part and the neckline. So now at the armhole here, armhole level here, I'm going to go down by maybe, let's say, 1.5 inches or 2 inches. So yeah, this is it right here. So now at the center line also here, I'm going to decide where I want to connect this to. So I'm going to just like you can just measure maybe from this point here, from your neckline point here, just measure maybe 2 inches down. From here, measure 2 inches down, and then we connect. So you can just use your French curve to just draw the curved line from here all the way here. So draw this way all the way here. So yeah, this is it for me. So I drew from here all the way here. Ignore this. It's just always just a mistake. So drew from here, and then we have like a straight line here. So I hope you got the drift. So you can just place a piece of paper underneath this, and then you trace this out. This. So I hope you got it. So yeah, this is it traced out. So now all I have to do now is to just cut my panels here. I'm just going to cut them out. I'll cut my center front, and then I'll cut my side front. So yeah, this is it cut out. So this is my side front. I already added my 1 inch allowance here. So when you're cutting your fabric, remember to add like a 1/4 inch allowance to the neckline and 1/2 inch here. For the center front also, add the 1/2 inch allowance here, 1/4 inch at the neckline, at the hem 1/2 inch, at the hem 1/2 inch. Remember to notch your bust points so that it's easy for you to match them up when you're sewing. And then this border line here, we don't need it, so you fold it up when you're cutting on your fabric. So you cut the center front on fold, cut one on fold, and for the side front you cut 2 pieces. So yeah, that's that. And this is my keyhole panel. So you also need to add maybe 1/2 inch allowance here, because you need to cut 2 pieces of this. So you cut one for the actual fabric and one as a lining, or you cut you cut one on the fabric and cut one as a lining, so you can use the lining to turn the edges of this. So I hope you understand what I just explained. So yeah, now you add the 1/2 inch allowance here, 1 inch at the side, 1 inch seam allowance at the side, 1/2 inch at the armhole, 1/2 inch at the shoulder, 1/4 inch at the neckline. So remember to also fold this in because you don't need it. So one thing also to note, please pick a little dart at this point here. You can just pick maybe 1/2 inch dart at your keyhole part here. So you just pick a small dart there, just so that it doesn't gape when you're sewing, so that this part stays firm to your chest. So you can just fold it this way, and then you cut that out. So the armhole also, you can also hold like a little bit of that also. So both can be like this. So you can fold both like this, and then you just reconnect this, connect your armhole this way, and this doesn't need any reconnection. So yeah, just so that your armhole stays fit, and then this part also stays fit to your chest. So yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but remember to also fold this borderline in, and that's that. So this is what it looks like when you're done. So when you're about to cut, so this is my side front, my center front. So this is the center front for this. So it goes this way. So yeah, so this is how it's going to look when you're cutting, or when you're done sewing rather. So you cut this on fold too. When you're cutting on your fabric, you cut on fold. Now this is my back piece. So for the back, we need to do the exact same thing we did for the front, but just like a few differences, just a few differences. So for the back, I need to draw in my neckline first, the neckline for my back, and from my armhole level here, I'm just going to measure 1 inch down. And this is it. So I'm going to reconnect this back to my armhole using my French curve. So you just draw a curved line. Now to give my back more dart shaping, I'm going to come to my back width here. This is my back width. Then I'm going to measure 1/2 inch out here. This is my dart line. Measure 1/2 inch out, 1/2 inch out here. And so these are the 2 points. Now I'm going to draw a straight line from here, connect it back to my dart line here. I'll connect this also to my dart leg here. My dart leg rather, not my dart line. So connect a straight line to your dart leg here, and connect this to your dart leg here. So yeah, this is done. So this is my center back, and this is my side back. So when I'm cutting this in panels, my center back goes this way, comes this way, this way. This is my zip allowance, so we are not folding that in. We'll be needing this. So cut this. So then for the side back, you cut this way, follow this shape. This is my side seam allowance. I already have that in, so cut that out. So yeah, now for the keyhole, let's work on the keyhole of the upper piece. So yeah, like we did earlier, at the shoulders here, you go in by 1 inch. So yeah, this is it right here. So at this point here, you go in again by 2 inches like we did for the front. So yeah, this is our new shoulder line. So I'm going to reconnect this straight to my neck point here. If you want to reduce your neck point, you can, but I'm not reducing mine, so I'm just reconnecting this straight here, and then I'll reconnect this also to my armhole. So I'm just going to reconnect this also here, and this is it. So everything in here is no longer needed, so I'm just going to cut that off. And then for this also, everything in here is no longer needed, so you cut that off. So now for the keyhole for the back, if you want to, you can decide to make it touch your neckline, or so for that you can decide to maybe make it touch this point, or maybe you make it touch anywhere along this point. So you can just measure however you want, wherever you want it to touch. So from here, maybe you can just measure maybe 7 inches from your neck point here. Just measure 7 inches or more, it depends on you. So you just measure that there. So yeah, this is it for me. So at this point also, you measure 1.5 or 2 inches, the same measurements we measured for the front right here. You measure it also here, and that was 2 inches for this. So I'm going to just measure 2 inches again here, and then you just connect this to this here, connect this way, and that's all. So you can just place a piece of paper underneath this, and then you just trace the panel out, trace this way, then trace this also, then trace this, and this is our side seam allowance. So yeah, this is the upper panel cut out. So I already added my allowance and then allowance here. So now I'm going to cut out my panel, that is my center back and my side back, and this is it. So this is my center back and this is my side back, and this is what the keyhole is going to look like on your blouse when you're done cutting and sewing. So remember to label this when you're cutting. So just label your pieces. This is the hem, just so that you don't confuse it and turn your panels like this. So remember to label the hem. This is the hem. So yeah, that completes everything for the upper body. Now let's work on the lower piece. So if you look at the lower piece of the dress, you would see that it is split into 2 tiers. That is, there's an upper tier and there's a lower tier. So the first thing you need to do for your pattern is to decide how long you want the first tier to be. So you just need to measure from your waist to wherever you want the first tier to be. So it could be like maybe 24 inches, or it could be 26 inches from your waist. It could be that, or it could be longer. It all depends on you, and for me, I think 24 inches should be good. Now, to get the wideness of the lower part, there are various ways to get that. So you can either use like a circle skirt structure, or you use the one I want to use today. So I can use either one if I want. So but today I feel like I want to use like an A-line structure. So at the M here, I'm going to measure about maybe 3 inches, just to make this is a basic skirt block. So just to make this an A line, so I'm going to measure 3 inches from here out. So you can make it wider if you want, but I want to measure 3 inches out here. So yeah, this is it for me. So now I'm going to reconnect from here back to my waistline. And now we have an A-line skirt measurement. So now to make it wider, because if you look at the skirt, you would say that it is a bit gathered. So I'm going to add some fullness into this. So to add the fullness, I'm going to slash and spread this pattern. So you can decide to I'll make this one part, one slash line. That is, this is my dark line here. I'll make it one slash line, then I'll draw one more slash line here, or maybe I'll just divide this also and draw one slash line here and one slash line here. It all depends on you. Just draw it anyhow you want. And so these are my slash lines. Please note, I don't need the dot anymore. So when I'm cutting, let me first cut this so you can see what I'm going to do with the dots. So I'm just going to cut this slash line. So when I get here, I'll go this way, and then I'll go this way, just so that you can see that I really don't need the that anymore. So yeah, I'm going to cut the rest of the slash lines. I'm going to cut this, and then I'll cut this, and then I'll cut this. So I already cut this slash line. So I also decided to label it. This is slash line 1, slash line 2, slash line 3, slash line 4, slash line 5. So I'm going to get a piece of paper because I'm going to be spreading all of this out. So I'm going to be spreading it all on this new piece of paper how I want to. Let me just do that. And this is it spread out. So I decided to swing it a bit. You can decide to just spread it out straight. It depends on you. But for me, I just wanted to give it like a bit of swing. So that's why I slanted the rest of the slash top line. So yeah, that's that. So I'm just going to connect this. I'm just going to connect this. And then I'll cut it out. So yeah, this is it cut out. So I already added my half-inch allowance at the top here and half-inch allowance also at the edge here. So now you can also use this to cut both your front and the back. So when you're cutting for the back, all you have to do is to just leave this open when you're cutting for the back, so it serves as a zip allowance. And then when you're cutting for the front, you just fold the border line in. So I hope you got the drift. So when you are done and you cut on your fabric, you know you have to gather this. You have to gather the waistline. So you gather the waistline back to your actual waist measurement. So if this is your pattern, so you should have measured that before. So if this is your pattern, so remember to measure from here to here, which is your waist measurement. So that is what you'll be gathering this part back to. So yeah, now let's work on the second tier. Now there's really no big deal to the second tier. All you have to do is to just measure what you have from here down here. Whatever you get, you multiply it by 3 or 2. Multiply it by 3 or 2 depending on how much fabric you have. If you don't have a lot of fabric, multiply by 2. But if you have a lot of fabric, you can just multiply by 3. So measure from here down here, then you multiply by either 2 or 3. So if what you have from here to here is, let's say, maybe 30 inches after you measure, then you just multiply by that 30 by 3, or you multiply it by 2 inches. So that will be the width. So let's say 30 times 3, that's 90, or 30 times 2, that's 60. So 60 inches will be the width. Now for the length, you need to measure how long you want the second tier to be. So if you want 20 inches, you measure 20 inches length. So from here to here will now be 20 inches. So this is what your fabric should look like. It should just be like a long rectangle. So this here, like what we measured from here to here, and we multiplied by 2, that's what we are going to have as the width here. And then the length will be how long you want the second tier to be. So if it's 20 inches, so it will be from here to here. So it's just basically like a rectangle block like this. So really, that's pretty much everything you have to do. Not sure I mentioned this for the back panel, but please remember to fold a bit of that here for the armhole part here, and also fold here also, just so that it stays so you can just do something like this, so you can see, just so that it doesn't gape, this doesn't gape, and your armhole also doesn't gape. So once you fold this part, just reconnect, just blend something in here. So you do it on your pattern before you cut on your fabric. So this is everything cut out. This is the keyhole panel, this is the bustier panel for the front, and this is my skirt piece rather, upper tier, and this is the lower tier. So this is the lower tier. You just need to gather this and attach it here. So I'm just going to do all of that now, and then I'll show you what it looks like. This is, as I just said, to open all of this up so you can see it clearly. Like this is it opened up, this opened up, and this is it opened up, and this is the last tier, a straight rectangle that will be gathering to this part here. So guys, this is everything. This is the full front, this is the keyhole part right here, this is my bustier part, and these are my tiers. That is the skirt tiers. I've already attached it, you can see I attached that here, and this is the back, just so that you can see fully. So these are upper bodies here, this is our skirt, and this is our first tier, and this is our second tier. So pretty much that's everything. So I'm going to put this on my mannequin now, just so that you can see the full fit. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button below your screen, tap the like button also, and turn on the notifications bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming tutorials when I post them. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.